We are going to talk about a subject that has made a lot of news recently. It's the influence of politics on financial markets, and we can get some unique insights from someone who, you do have a certain public profile. What people don't know is that you've actually once worked for Warren Buffett, right?
I did, yeah, for Berkshire Hathaway.
And you have also set up and grown several companies, some of them public as well.
Yeah, I floated a listed insurance broker and currently run a direct insurance company.
And most recently, you've become well known as the so-called godfather of Brexit. That's what the New York Times called you. So you've got some incredible insights into politics. And with the time that we have, we just wanted to get your insights into one of the questions that I believe a lot of you have on your mind. Politics has played such a major role in financial markets in the last 9 months. Is that going to continue? Is it going to possibly even get worse? What's your take on that?
Well, I don't think we've seen the end of the sort of 2016 revolution that started with Brexit and Trump. And I think that the position of Marine Le Pen is probably stronger than a lot of people realize. I'm not saying she's going to win, but depending on who she faces in the runoff, which could very well be Macron, I think she's got a good chance.
And if she does win, that would obviously be very disruptive for stock markets, currency markets in Europe.
Yeah, I don't think it's just France. I think Italy have got elections coming up in March, and there's a lot of turmoil there as well. So I think this kind of potential breakup of the European Union, it continues apace.
And Arron, you've just come back from the United States, as I know, where you're very well connected. You hang out with the likes of Donald Trump, so you get information literally right from the source. How do you see trends such as, obviously Silicon Valley is now very exposed to politics, and you've got companies like Google and Apple and Facebook, which are widely held among our audience. How is politics going to influence these companies and these industries?
Well, we had a fascinating visit to California with Nigel Farage last week, where we were actually talking about, with the Republican base in Orange County, that they want to break California up into East and West. So politics and the way things are being generated is changing. So I think things that were previously thought impossible are quite possible now.
And speaking of the impossible, you've obviously been a big factor in the entire Brexit campaign. And as a little anecdote, I was, in a way, I bet on Brexit because I knew that you had done a poll and you were relaxed on the day.
Yeah.
You tweeted about being relaxed and having a cocktail, which made me think, you know the result
already.
We
used some American technology that used artificial intelligence, which, funnily enough, we're now using in our business. So we've had some good business wins out of it. But essentially, with a very large poll of nearly 20,000 people, and using artificial intelligence on social media, we got the result within 0.1%, 52-48. So actually, the technology around using social media to work out trends is much more powerful than traditional polling companies, who their methodology is flawed.
So presumably your advice to private investors would be to also follow social media channels quite carefully and alternative media?
I think I think there will be companies that actually work on that as an idea. Just because the crowd is moving in one way doesn't make it right, but certainly for political polling, it's a very interesting idea. But artificial intelligence, I think, is going to be the one thing that will radically change the world, and rapidly. And I can't really tell you which companies to invest in, but from my perspective, that's the sort of thing I'm starting to research now, because these are the companies that will radically change everybody's business model.
And what are your sources of news? You must be a very well-read man. Are there any alternative media channels on the internet that you like to frequent and that are useful for investors? If you can tell us?
I think with the 2 years I spent on Brexit, I stopped reading books. It's been such hard work. You know, we've been exhausted. But all I would say is that people talk about fake news, they talk about news outlets. What is absolutely the case is you mustn't believe what you see in newspapers, listen to on the television, and it's worth going to find your own news.